Good afternoon and welcome to Jump In Let's Play with Adam at Board at Home. This week's episode we are taking a look at the setup and playthrough of Colt Express. This is a fantastic game. It's a programming game. If you're not aware of what that term means, it's where you're playing actions and you're programming your character to work through those actions over the course of a round. So, what is the objective of the game? Well, the objective is to collect as much swag, as much loot as possible, be the richest bandit on this train heist here. So, we'll go through the setup, explain that, and then we'll run through a few turns for you. So, our setup here, you can see we've got our train. We're set up for 4 players, so as per the instructions, we have our 4 carriages and we have the locomotive itself. The last carriage is called the caboose, just in case you want to know, I guess, but it does help for some of the more advanced rules in the game, which we won't be detailing here. The players are placed in the last 2 carriages. They'll alternate between the randomly determined first player for the first round. So for here it was purple, then player 2, which is green, will go into the next one, and they'll alternate until both carriages have an amount of players in them. You'll also see that each carriage has either a little swag bag, a little purse, or a ruby, these gems here. And then at the end here, we've got the marshal, and we have a strong box there as well. These will be what we'll be collecting over the course of the game. They are randomised, so the values are hidden from you and will change from game to game, with the exception of the stronghold in the locomotive, which is always worth 1,000. Here we have the marshal's deck. So if you happen to be caught by the marshal, he's going to shoot and he's going to give you one of these cards. Similar to deck building games, these cards are going to clog up your action cards here. So try not to get caught by him. And then here we have our round cards. So we've got 5 rounds for the game. That's the same in every game. But there are 7 cards to choose from, so there's always a bit of variability. And I'll just show you here. It will tell you how many cards you're playing in each round. So this one you can see we are playing 5 cards. This one we are playing 4. This one we are playing 4, and I'll explain this in just a moment. And you see we've got 5 here. So some of these here. So this one means that we're going to be playing the card face down on the stack. This one here, for example, means we're playing 2 cards one after the other straight away. And that's all the symbols we've got on here. We do have other ones. One includes a arrow on it in a clockwise direction. That just means that for that turn, the cards are played clockwise. And then the blank one here is they're just played face up as normal. So each round we will draw one of these, and that will become the card for the round, and we'll detail what we need to do. Again, here some of these cards will have additional images here, but these are for the advanced rules, which we won't do here. But if you'd like to, you can ask and I can explain to you what those are, or if you can take a look in the rule book next time you're in the boardroom. Finally, we've got the players. So each player is set up the same. They've got a player board, which just gives you the image of the player and their name, and it will give you a space for their 6-shooter and their action cards. So the action cards will allow us to move either between coaches, or it will allow us to move up to the roof and across the rooftops. They'll also allow us to punch and to shoot. So punching will be anyone that happens to be in the same carriage as you, and they will drop their loot. And shooting will be in the person to the carriage next to you, or if you're on the roof, anyone that you can see along the roof there. What you will do is each round you will draw 6 cards, and then you will choose out of those 6 cards for whatever card we have for that round. So that's that. We've got the setup, we've got the objective of the game. So let's begin. So we're going to turn over the first cards here. So we're playing 5 cards here. It's quite a long one here. And it's going to be face up, face down, face up, face up. Now the way that this is going to work is the players are going to look where they are in relation to everyone else and in relation to the coaches. They can decide what they want to do. So, for example, this player here, they're going to choose their first card. They're going to they're going to climb up. So that gets played face down. Sorry, we should have drawn 6. There we go. Do forgive me there. So there we go. So we got that. So that one goes face up. They will leave theirs there for now. We'll then go to player 2, who's going to draw their 6. And they're going to decide what they want to do. So they're going to grab some loot. So that goes on top of the card there. Then our next player, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're going to take a look. They're going to, because you can see all the cards that are here, they're going to move across. And then finally, Ghost, player 4. He has his 6 here. And he's going to punch. So that's his 6. We then move to the next card. So we'll pick up our hand again. And each player will decide what they want to do. So this is where you'll need to keep an eye on what the players are doing, the other players are doing, what you've done before. So here we're going to go. So we've gone up. So we're going to go across. With this one, it allows us to go across as many as we like. And then Cheyenne. What's Cheyenne doing? So Cheyenne was picking one up in there. So she is then going to move up. Our player here is going to punch. And then our final player here, they are going to, let's have a look, what have they got there? So they've got a punch there. They're going to pick up some swag. Now the next card is played face down. So this is going to disrupt our flow here. So they're going to pick one of their cards here. So they might well pick this one. So now the players don't know what this card is. So each player is going to find it a bit more difficult to decide what they're going to do when they can't see the information that other people have. So they're going to play this one face down. We're going to come here. This guy is going to play his face down. Then we go here. And this person is going to play this one face down. 2 more cards to go. Obviously, it'll be a little bit quicker than this when it's just just one person here. So what they can do is, if they don't want to draw play a card, they can draw 3. So that's what they're going to do, because nothing there that I think will be particularly useful for them at the moment. This player here is going to play this one. This player here is going to go for this one, and then our final player will play that one there. And then for our last round, she's going to shoot. This player here, they're going to shoot as well. We might have a bit of a shootout here. This player's going to move, and then finally here, this player's going to shoot as well. So what will happen is, now that we've got our actions in, all these cards are going to be turned upside down, and then we're going to play through these one by one. So we turn the first one over. So purple is moving up. It's moving up there. We then have green grabbing one of these. So they just grab a random one. That sits on their thing. We don't get to see what that is. And we'll start separating these out as they come about. Black is going to move, so they're going to move into this one here. And white is going to punch someone. So white's going to punch green, which means that they drop their loot. So they drop one of their loot. So they're going to drop this one, just because they feel that the other one might be a bit more valuable to them. We then draw the next card. So she is going to move across. And that is up to 3 cards away. So 1, 2. Let's just move into this one for now, or on top of. Our next card, this player is going to move up. This player is going to punch the white person, but the white player has only this, so that is going to be dropped. And then white is going to pick up one of those. There we go. Now here were the face down ones. So purple is going to shoot, so it can shoot at this one here, which means that we give one of these to that player. So that will go onto their deck there. This player is moving across, so they are going to move there. This player is moving up as well, and this player is picking up another diamond. So this player here, if you remember, for the 4th turn, they didn't have any actions, they drew cards. So this player is going to move down. This player is going to shoot, so they're going to shoot at the purple. So they are going to give purple one of their cards. And you can see here that the chambers are slowly emptying. Then white is going to move up. Then we got our last 4 cards for this turn. So purple's going to shoot. They're going to shoot back at the black token. Green is going to shoot. There is no one for green to shoot. So what will happen here is that this action just doesn't take effect. There's no one for him to shoot at. Can't shoot at the marshal. Black is going to move down. And then white is going to shoot. So they're going to shoot at purple. So there we go. So that is the first round there. What will happen now is that all the cards will go back into their respective piles, and then everything will be shuffled. Okay, so we will get those shuffled, and then we have done our first action. We will then move on to the next turn. Okay, so that's all the cards shuffled there. Just had to pause, didn't want you to see me just shuffling more cards again. We then turn over the next cards. So here we've just got 4 face up. And then the first player marker moves to the next player, so that will be our green player here, Cheyenne. Again, you draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. And then take a look through and decide what you want to do. Okay, so this player feels that they're too near the marshals, so they're going to move across one. The next player, they draw their 6, and they're going to move down one. We'll then come to this player here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're going to grab some swag, and then finally our player here. So here we go. So you can see there are 2 dead cards in here. So this is going to clog up our deck of possible actions. So we might have to spend a turn drawing cards because of this. But for now, we're going to move down. And we keep doing that until everyone has played through the required amount of cards. And then we, again, program the actions and see what happens. Okay, so we've been through those actions. We've done all of them here. So we will go through and see what happens. So green is going to move across. So green moves over one. White is going to move down. Black is going to grab one of these. And purple is moving down. Green is grabbing a swag bag. White is moving across. Black is moving the sheriff. And purple is grabbing a bag there. Green is shooting, so they can shoot at someone in next carriage, so they will be shooting at black here. So they will give one of these cards to the black player. We then have white who is shooting. Again, they can only shoot to the next carriage, so black is getting another one there. The black character is going to move, shoot back, so they will shoot at white. It's quite a gunfight here. Purple drew some more cards, so they didn't put down on this one. Green is moving up. White is moving the sheriff, the marshal. So when the marshal enters a coach with the player, that player immediately has to move up. They then take a generic wounds card, and that will be added to their deck. So the black player will move up here, and finally white would move down, but they can't because the sheriff, the marshal, is there. And the game will keep going like that until all 5 rounds have been done, so until we've been through each of these. At the end of it, players will score based on their totals here. So, for example, you can see we've got a couple of different totals there. They'll also receive a bonus if they had shot the most bullets. So you'll be crowned as gunslinger and will get 1,000 for that. And then whoever manages to get to the locomotive will also get the strong box there. So that is Colt Express. It's a fairly straightforward game. People think of programming games and think of computers, think of something that's going to be complicated. As you can see here, there's not a lot of setup. It's quite a thinking game actually, so there's a bit of complexity in that. You're having to think about where you're going to move and then how the other players are moving, how you're going to react to those, especially when you can't see some of the cards if it's like this, for example. But overall, it's a fairly easy game to get to grips with. First few turns or first few turns of the game, I would thoroughly recommend that you just play the basic rules as they are. When you get further on, there are rules at the back here. You can see here that we've got the different player powers. You may have noticed on the board here, you'll see that there's a symbol, and here there's a symbol, but these are part of the advanced rules. And again, for the symbols with the different train cards as well. And then rules for 2 to 3 player games as well. It says 2 to 6 players on the box. Really, as the rules are in the standard format, it is 4 to 6. So 2 to 3, there is a slight variant in which you are controlling 2 different bandits. But that is everything for Colt Express. If you have any questions at all regarding the game, do comment below, or if you happen to be visiting us in the shop anytime, we can sit down with you and answer any questions you may have. This is brand new to the Board Games Library, so if you're down for our Board Games Club, feel free to have a crack at it, or any time that you may happen to be available, and we do have plenty now in stock as well. Thank you all for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry it was a little bit longer, but the actions can sometimes take a bit longer when it's more than just 2 players, which I normally do. Thank you, and I'll see you in the boardroom. Bye.